I'm Susanna Mihailovic. Welcome to Your Opulent Self. My God, I'm so excited. This is our very first Your Opulent Self for 2022. So you're our 2022 pioneers. I'm Susanna Mihailovic. I'm the founder of the international success and mindset coaching company called Your Two Minds. I'm also a top 1% Proctor Gallagher Institute consultant. So what that means is I'm one of the very top people in the world working directly with Bob Proctor himself, and I'm a best-selling author also. But today is not about me. The next 7 days is not about me. It is about the most important person in the world, and that is you. I am so excited about having you all here. So we are doing something very different, something that we haven't done before, and that is we are going live in 2 of our Facebook groups. So we have a new Facebook group called Your Opulent Self. So some of you might be live in that group, and some of you might be live in the Millionaire Roundtable. The reason why we've gone live in the 2 groups is to avoid any confusion. I would really love for all of you to move to the Your Opulent Self Facebook group. We want to create a community. We want to create as many of us working together as possible to change, to reach out, to achieve so much more in our lives. So the next 7 days, I promise you one thing. I will give you the best of me in the next 7 days. And something really magical happens if you give the best of you to you for the next 7 days. One of the most common pieces of feedback that my team and I receive about Your Opulent Self is, wow, I could not believe how much could happen to me and my life in just 7 days. So this is going to be a journey of transformation, but you will get as much as you give. So let's get started. I hope that you all have your workbooks ready. If you don't have a workbook, if you don't know where to receive it, or where to get it, it should have been sent to you by email. But please drop us a line and we'll follow up and make sure you get a workbook. Make sure that you show up 5 minutes early, okay? Show up 5 minutes early and get your mindset focused on the lesson. We will go live for 45 minutes. I jam-pack these lessons with so much value. So when I say 45 minutes, sometimes I'm incredible at sticking to the 45 minutes, but because of my passion and because I want you to get so much out of this, sometimes we go a little bit over, but I promise you we won't go over 1 hour, I hope. So make sure you show up early. Make sure when you are here, you are present. You are focused on the session. You are focused on yourself. Take away anything that's on your mind that is bothering you, that you have to, do, that is distracting you. Just put it aside just for the 45 minutes or hour that we're together, okay? And I ask that you fully show up fully, because that's how you're going to get the best results. Do the homework that I suggest. I promise you that we will give you so much value, and just come with an open mind. So for those of you that I can see the comments from one Facebook group. I hope that the comments are coming through from both of the Facebook groups. So I'm going to ask my team, Joe and Natalia, just to keep an eye out on both of the groups, just in case I've missed anything. And the reason why I say that is I want you to interact with me, okay? Any question that comes up, anything that you want to say, share, okay? One of the things that happens, the magic that happens in the 7 days, we create an incredible community of people that once did not know themselves, did not know each other, maybe didn't know themselves. You're going to have a new understanding of yourself by the end of these 7 days, that's for sure. But, often what happens that, a group of people from all over the world that didn't know each other, they start to naturally support each other. And there's this incredible energy by the end of the 7 days of strangers really getting into the energy and adding to the energy and supporting each other. So up above, there should be a link, okay? Click that link, if you want, because what that does for me, it will show your name when you comment, okay? So I can see here my friend, my incredible friend from Sydney, Adrian Panozzo. Hello. Hi, Susanna. Joe is really into it already. Hi, Joe. Welcoming people. Our incredible, amazing Your Two Minds community member and client, Angie, is here. Angie, you have to meet Angie. We had a session this morning, our coaching session, and she is always getting into the spirit of things. She is contributing, she is supporting, she shows up and she does the work and she is seeing the results. And she's also one of our leaders in the Your Two Minds community. She's helping people with our study group, which we have for our clients. So welcome to Angie, welcome Joe. I have Facebook user here saying it's great to be here. It's great to have you here. If you want to click the link above so I can see who you are, that would be fantastic. And hi from Munich. Hello, I assume that's Birgit. Hello, Birgit, if that's you, but click the link so I can see you. So one of the reasons why the 7 days that you're about to embark is so powerful is because, yes, I'm here. I want you to transform, but also because I have a fully trained team that will be here to support you. So each of you has been allocated a success advisor. You should have had a 15-minute goal setting strategy call by now with your success advisor. If you don't know who your success advisor is, or you have not had that one-on-one call, please let us know in the comments, and the incredible, amazing Joe will follow up, and we'll make sure that you are allocated a success advisor. I would utilize this resource as much as I could. It's available to you for the duration of the masterclass, okay? It's a part of the service that we give at Your Two Minds because we want to be not just great at what we do. I'm not the top 1% consultant for no reason. I obviously have a depth of understanding, but also for me, it's not me that's important. It's you, and giving service and value and transformation to you. That is what is the most important thing. So connect with your success advisor. Make sure you have your one-on-one call. Do the work. Show up early and engage. And I see that my friend Lynette is here too. Welcome, Lynette. Welcome. Okay, so are we ready? Are we ready to take off? Give me a hell yeah in the comments if you are ready to take off. Are you ready to use the next 7 days and learn as much as you can so that you can have a transformation for 2022? Who's ready? Give me a hell yeah. I'm not going to get started until I see the hell yes. Joe is always ready. Joe is absolutely extraordinary. She's a hell yeah. She's ready to go. Who else is ready? Give me a hell yeah if you are ready to go. Give me a hell yeah. Come on, baby. Oh, hell yeah. Bring it on, Angie says. You know what? For those of you that are here for the first time, I'm going to suggest that you fasten your seatbelt. Now, you're probably not in your car. I hope you're not in your car because I want you to be focused on the road if you're in your car, and this requires that you focus on yourself. But I say that because you don't know what's about to open up to you. You don't know the experience that you're about to have, and it happens every single time with your opulent self. Something happens. I can't quite explain it. So open up your heart and open up your mind, and let's get into it. Let's get into that. So I hope you've got your workbook ready. I have mine here. And for you to know, every time I get, even though I have designed this program myself, every time I do Your Opulent Self, I go deeper. I do the work myself. Okay, so I'm not here just telling you do this and do that. Every single thing that I suggest to you, like I suggest to my incredible clients, is something that I'm currently doing, something that I've put into practice previously, okay, and that has completely worked, or I'm doing it with you right now. And every single Your Opulent Self, I'm doing the work, as is my team. It's a part of their role. So get your workbooks out. If you don't have your workbook, please let Joe know in the comments below, okay? Because this is your key. This is what you write on these pages are the magic. You're creating magic. This is not just a workbook, okay? You might want to even just take the photo off there and put a photo of yourself, because this is about you. And what you put in this will be your little magic book, okay? So let's get started. Hell yes, so ready. That's what I love. Hell yeah, I am so ready. So opulence. Let's start with opulence. You know, I absolutely love the word opulence. I always have loved the word opulence. But it's really interesting. Whenever I advertise Your Opulent Self, I get a mixture of different emotions, different responses, I should say. Some people say, and one of the common things is, what is opulence? I have to think about what opulence is. So what is your definition of opulence? Please, please, please share in the boxes. And also the Your Opulent Self Facebook group, or if you're in the Millionaire Roundtable Facebook group, you might be in both. Please share, okay? Share anything. Share your definition of opulence. Share, what you're experiencing, because something happens for the person that shares, okay? Something happens. I believe it's you're creating a collective energy, but also because you're giving that energy out, right? So the law of cause and effect, the law of circulation, right? It is coming back to you. So the closer we become, the more we share during this time, the more powerful this information will be for you. So back to your opulence. What does opulence mean for you? You see, for me, I have always loved the word opulence. To me, opulence used to mean great wealth, riches and beautiful things. And I love beautiful things. We've got someone that says abundance. Absolutely. What does opulence mean for everyone else? So we've got abundance with a little present and money. Yes, it is an abundance of money. And I used to think, those beautiful luxury bags and clothes, and that's what opulence was for me. And I, like many of us, love beautiful things. I feel that we should treat ourselves with the things that we really love, because when you understand who you truly are, and we're going to go through that, okay, in the next few days, you understand that you are worthy of having the very best, whatever the very best means for you. Now, even though I love the definition of opulence, there was something inside me that separated myself in my mind to the people that had opulence. So I would think one of the first things that came up for me, when I thought of opulence, was Michael Jackson. So I could see him, going into a store and just ridiculously, buying millions and millions and millions of dollars of worth. So I used to think opulence was something for someone like him, something for the very few people in the world. And for me, an ordinary person, I couldn't have it, okay, even though my heart desired it. Who can relate? If you can relate, let me know. Give me a hell yeah. Yes, I can relate. Okay. And if you, so for years, that's what I thought. And I would see, I love nice cars. I love beautiful clothes. I love beautiful homes, and I love travel, which is probably like many of you. What do you love? What do you love? But I would drive my car, an ordinary Peugeot at the time, it was brand new, and I would drive and I would see a Bentley come past or a Porsche come past, and I'd be drooling. I'd be like, wow, look at that car. My favorite is Aston Martin. And whenever I'd see an Aston Martin, I'd be like, wow, look at that. But again, I felt like I was different to the person driving it. Angie says I can relate. Yeah. I'm sure many of us can relate to that. So I felt that it was never accessible to me. And when I learned a few simple truths, right, was not only accessible, I learned that I am here because I already am opulent before I have the material stuff. And I am, worth way more than that. So I am an equal to them. But I also learned that opulence is not just about incredible wealth and riches and all that. Okay. Opulence means great wealth and riches and abundance in the dictionary. But what I learned was it didn't matter what anybody else thought opulence meant, whether it was the dictionary, whether it was that person driving that beautiful car. Okay. What I learned was the power is within me. Okay. And when you understand the power is within you, you understand that it doesn't matter what Susanna thinks opulence is or what the dictionary believes opulence is. What really matters is your own definition of opulence. Okay. And as you go along, please turn up to every single session. If you can turn up live, so if Brigitte is here and she's in Munich, what time is it in Munich? It's probably 2:00 in the morning. This is really common, right? We have people from the UK and Europe. Once they get into the work, they wake up at 2 or 3 every single morning to be here. Okay, this is what you call commitment. This is what people, if you really want to get a lot, 2 a.m., Brigitte says, 2 a.m. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much. So what I learned was that doesn't matter what anyone else, my incredible friend and coach, Bob Proctor, thought opulence is, what the dictionary thinks opulence is. What really mattered is what Susanna thought the definition of opulence is. Okay. So, but before we get into opulence, and I love that word opulence, let's talk about wealth. So the word wealth was created from a Scottish word, will. Now, will means, it doesn't mean just wealth in terms of money. It means great health. It means great relationships. It means great abundance in terms of cash flow and money. And it means the wealth of enjoying and loving your life. Because at the end of the day, maybe many of you decided to join this program because you wanted more of the M word, money. And I applaud you for that. Okay, we all want more, and we need to start to feel comfortable knowing and loving money. Okay, and I do another session about money. I have the Millionaire Roundtable Wednesdays in the Millionaire Roundtable Facebook group. If you want to learn more about money, join me every single Wednesday at 12 every single Wednesday, because I go into money. But I want your opulent self, yes, to be about money if that's important to you. But let me ask you a question. What's money if you don't have happiness in other areas of your life? What's money if you don't have a richness in wealth? What's money if you don't have a richness in your satisfaction and love and enjoyment in your relationships? What's money if you don't really love yourself? So as you go into this program with me, okay, and you're doing the work in here, and you might want to get yourself a workbook as I have, okay, I want you to think about the luxuries and the dream and the money and the prosperity, but also think about what wealth really is. And that is every single area of your life. Okay. Now, Angie said, opulence for me means having a thriving business. Yes, opulence means also loving your business and allowing it to thrive. Absolutely. Absolutely. An incredible Birgit. Well done. Yes, 2 a.m. in the morning. So let's start. Before we can move forward and change our situation, we must reflect on where we are now. Now, I need to warn you all, and I need to be honest, okay? Some of the things that I share with you in the next 5 to 7 days might not be comfortable, okay? And I don't apologize about that. It's not that I love making you feel uncomfortable, okay? I don't enjoy, making people feel uncomfortable, but I would not be doing my job if I wasn't completely honest with you, okay? So some of these concepts may be new. Some of these concepts may be challenging, okay? And there might be some areas of your life that you need to look at that you don't feel comfortable looking at, that you may not feel completely satisfied with. And that's completely okay, because if we don't look at where we are now and just have a brief analysis of it, how do we expect to know what we need to change? How do we expect to know what the next step is? And how can we recreate if we don't look at our current situation? So I'm going to briefly ask you a few questions about your current situation now. We're not going to stay there, okay? I'm not one that will coach you, into analyzing your current situation and staying there for days. My background is psychology and counseling. We did so much of that, right? Counseling session, you were analyzing, repeating, what happened to you back when you were 2 years old, And what I learned is it's great, for trauma and all that, but if you keep repeating it, it's going deeper into your subconscious. So what we're going to do, just to start off with today, okay, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Okay, first of all, why have you chosen to do your opulent self? What is it for you? Why have you committed the next 7 days? Maybe a little bit longer. I might, Joe, add a few bonuses. We'll see. If it's a community that we absolutely fall in love with, which I have a feeling we might even add some extra information, but we'll see. So what is it? What was it about this masterclass? Why did you decide to commit the next 7 days to your opulent self? What is it that you would love to gain out of this for your own life? Just have a think about that. And ask yourself, how do I feel about my life right now? How do I feel? What is it that I would love to change? And I know some of you, I've spoken to some of you, and I know some of you might not feel great about your life right now. That might be one of those uncomfortable questions. But let me tell you one thing. Congratulate yourself. Congratulate yourself. Because that shows to me that you are ready for change. You see, back in 2017, 16, I was asked 8 critical questions about my life and about what I want out of my life. And I remember as I answered them, I loved the answers and what I wanted, but I just felt really terrible. I felt really terrible and really uncomfortable, and I found those questions quite confronting. And the reason was because I was in my early 40s. I know I look good for my age, right? No, I was in my early 40s and I wanted those things so much for so many years. And I felt like a failure. I felt like I will never, ever have them. And I felt like I hadn't done anything about them. I hadn't, taken the actions required to have those things that I had written down, even though I somehow knew they were mine ever since I was a child. So I share that with you because that's what I experienced, right? So And for me, being so confronted by those questions was actually the turning point. Because for me, had I not done anything differently, had I not really completely committed to myself and making those changes, I would be writing the same answers down right now. So, 2 things. Ask yourself, how do I feel about my life right now, and how would I love it to be? But also completely commit. Because that discomfort for me was so deep that it made me finally completely commit to myself. And you'll hear more about my story as we go on, but I just share that with you because if you are feeling uncomfortable in answering or thinking about that question, how do I feel about my life right now? And, you know, how would I want to change that? And you're not feeling comfortable, congratulations. Because I was there where you are right now before the change started happening. So you are absolutely on track. Absolutely on track. Okay, so I said that it doesn't matter what the definition of opulence in the dictionary says or means, or what I say the definition is of opulence. Okay, I might have a very different definition of opulence to what you do because we're all different. Okay, but as we move on in this course, you're going to understand a little bit about your incredible mind. Did you know that inside you, Birgit, that inside you, Lynette, that inside you, Angie, you, Joe knows this. Do you know that inside you, you have the most powerful tool for success that ever exists? There's nothing more powerful than your mind, nothing. And you're going to learn more about your mind as we move on, okay? But what the mind really needs to start off with, it needs a clear definition of what you want. So you have felt and you've answered the question about how your life is right now. And the next question, which is the real question, is what would you love instead? How would you love your life to be? And this is really, really, really important. Because once you learn about your mind is a goal-seeking mechanism. And what that means is if you don't have a clear definition of what you want, if you don't have a clear definition of opulence for yourself, then your mind will not know where to take you. And what will happen is that it will think your past conditioning is your goal. So what it will do, it will take you to your past conditioning. So this is how important your opulent self is. This is why I do, even though I've created this course, you know, I've created the questions in the workbook, I do the course with you over and over and over again because I want it to go deeper. Because I understand the power of this. So what would you love instead? That's the biggest question. That's the biggest question. And I want you to spend the next 24 hours really starting to feel what you would love. If you need some visual guidance, get onto, you know, Luxury Estates or your favorite shoe shop. I think you all know what my favorite shoe shop is. It's Christian Louboutin. And that's why we have the little Christian Louboutin. That's not my logo. That's the Christian Louboutin logo. And if you know, so I'd check it out. Okay, that's my favorite shoe. But we always give out a pair of shoe to the person that invites friends along. Okay, so if you want to go into the competition, it's going backwards. I can't see it. There it is. If you want to go into the Christian Louboutin competition, invite a friend. And if they decide to become a client, you'll go into the competition. Okay, we have a partnership with them. That was a dream of mine, to have a partnership with Christian Louboutin. So a clear definition. So if I could do that, you can do that too. So we need to create opulence, a new definition of opulence inside ourselves. And then we need to start to take action to make that definition a reality. Now, there are 4 building blocks in creating opulence. And opulence to you can mean a beautiful pair of shoes, or it can mean houses, or it can mean having loving relationships, and like what Angie said, having a thriving business that fulfills her. Okay, so 4 building blocks of creating opulence. The first one I have mentioned already, a clear definition of what opulence means to you. Why do we need a clear definition? You're going to be learning more about your mind tomorrow and the next day. Very, very important sessions. In fact, every single lesson leads into the next lesson, and every single lesson is really important, right? In order for you to build on your life, in order for you to have your transformation. These recordings will be available over and over and over again. These recordings will be available for the duration of the masterclass. So please watch them over and over and over again if you have time. I apologize about that. I put 2 half sentences into one. The 4 building blocks. So a clear definition of opulence. We know now that your mind needs a clear definition of opulence. Also, everything that I do, the coaching that I give to people is very different to anything else that I have experienced. And it was also the missing link when I worked with clients and organizations, when I was in the helping professions, when, after my psychology and counseling studies. Okay. And you'll find out the missing link tomorrow and the next day, right? So I go through universal laws, but there's also a part of the formula that I'm probably one of the very few people that coach people in this way, which I'll reveal. But the universal laws, they work 100% of the time, okay? The law of gravity, if I was to let go of this pen, will the pen rise? No, it won't. Will it float? No, it won't. 100% of the time, this pen will drop, okay? It reminds me of my coaching session this morning with my group, with my community. I gave them the same example. So the universal laws and the way that your mind works 100% of the time for your success. In actual fact, it has been working 100% of the time all of your life, okay? But it's probably been working against you because you didn't understand the laws. And if you don't understand the laws, which I'm going to go through some of them, I go through them in depth in my 6-month coaching program. So we're going to go through some of them. If you don't understand the laws, it's very likely that they're working against you. So the first law of the universe is order. Order, okay? You look at at nature. Look at nature, okay? You plant a seed. That seed then germinates. Now, if it is a pink lady apple seed, it will turn into a tree eventually, okay? And eventually that tree will be abundant with fruit if you've nurtured it properly, if you've fed it with nutrients properly, okay? Abundant with pink lady apples, sorry. The same goes with you, okay? Why is this important for you? So the first law is order, okay? So nature is orderly. The DNA in that seed was for a pink lady apple, okay? That DNA could not turn into a banana tree. It could not turn up it could not turn into a tomato plant. Can't even be a Granny Smith apple, okay? It is a pink lady apple 100% of the time. So nature is orderly. The first law is order. So you need order in your mind, not only to have order in your life, but you need order in your mind to start to manifest and align with your own definition of opulence, with the incredible business that Angie, is manifesting, with the incredible relationship that you want, the home, the money, whatever it is. Your mind must align with that. Your mind must be orderly. So the first building block in creating opulence is a clear definition of what opulence means to you. In the next 24 hours, I want you to play with this. I want you to get out of your head and connect with your heart, okay? How do I do this? So I always have a candle going. You can see my All Two Minds candles in the back. I have meditation music, and I do a brief little meditation, which I may do with you actually in one of these sessions if we have time, if you would like me to get me out of my head and into my heart. And then I write from that space, okay? Because if we stay in our head, let's say your heart wants to have a huge international coaching business. That's what you want, okay? But your head says, oh, Adrian, you've never done that. You've only been successful in this area of your life. Don't be silly. And then you'll convince yourself to go for another definition of opulence. You are going to learn in this course that you can have absolutely anything that you want. I can assure you that. You are talking to somebody that has applied these principles and got them in my life in a very short time frame. So for me, when I was a child, I knew that I was going to have an international coaching company. I did not pursue it until I was in my 40s. Because I was afraid, because of my paradigms, because I was in here, rather than changing my paradigms, rather than understanding this information. But you are listening and watching someone that has one of the largest coaching companies, definitely within Bob Proctor's, circle of influence, but the world, and somebody that has clients in every single continent except for Antarctica. And Jo said she's going to help me get some clients from Antarctica, even if they're penguins, right? We had this personal joke that we're going to have penguins from Antarctica as our clients. But that's an example when you start to apply these principles in your life, okay, you can start to open up to more of what you want. And remember, I was just like you. I would love the beautiful things, but I just felt so different to the people that had them. I just felt like, somehow I was less than, I wasn't worthy of that. There's no way I would have it. And when I applied these principles, things changed. So the next building block of creating opulence in your life is understanding your mind and how to change them. We're going to go into your subconscious mind, because if you don't understand what's happening on the subconscious level, then you're going to self-sabotage. Okay. Have you ever felt frustrated? And we spoke about this also this morning in my coaching session. Have you ever felt that, you try to move past a certain level to your dream, and every time you move, you're back? And it might be even a relationship. I talk to many people. In fact, I was one of them for many, many years. I knew what I wanted, but anytime I'd meet someone, they just weren't quite right until I changed that. Okay. So the second building block is understanding your mind and changing it. And we're going to go into that. The third is you and how you see yourself. You have an image in your mind of someone who is very successful or someone who is never successful. Okay, we're going to go deep into that, and that needs to change. And the final pillar, the final building block is decision. You will learn that if you do not make a decision, all of you have made a decision to be here. Congratulations. Okay, that is more than most of the population. Most of the population know that something needs to change. They know that they want something different, but they don't show up. They don't take action. They don't give it their best shot. So therefore they stay in bondage for the rest of their life. 99% of people die not reaching even 1% of their potential. 99% of people die wanting so much more out of life. And I don't want you to be in the 99%. We're going to change that. So you've made a decision to show up. But you know what a real decision is? Will you keep showing up? Will you keep showing up for the rest of this masterclass? Will you do the work? And I promise you, it's not a lot of work, but everything you do is going to be so worth it. And have you really, really decided that this is going to be for you? Have you set your one-on-one coaching session with your success advisor? And if you don't know who your success advisor is, please comment below and Joe will help you out with that. So we've got a little bit of work to do. So all I want you to do, if you have had your session and your success advisor has given you homework, please finish that homework. It's just going to help you. Please finish that homework before you meet with them, okay? It's going to help you tremendously. And I want you to complete session 1 of your workbook, okay? If you really want to get into the spirit of it, and Angie is one person in our community that really gets into the spirit of doing this work, and you can feel her energy. What I would suggest is have your notebook, but also have a scrapbook during this time, okay? Get some magazines if you like. Rip some stuff out. Put it in your scrapbook. Start dreaming. Get out of your head. Start feeling. Start thinking about, if I could have anything, what would that be? And by tomorrow, what I would really love is to hear your definition of opulence, okay? I've got my definition of opulence, but I'm not going to share it. I'm not going to share it unless you all share yours. And once I see that you have shared your definition, I promise you that I will share it. And I want you to post it in, if you're in both groups, post it in both groups. If you're just in the Your Opulent Self, post it in there, okay? We've got a small community in the Your Opulent Self Facebook group. So if you want to stay in that small community, do that. If you want to go the larger support, if you want both, let's just get into action. Let's create some great energy, because what you're also going to learn from me is that everything is energy. And the energy that you put into doing this and the energy that you give out, right, to other people in your sharing, to the 7 days that we've got, to your success advisor, will come back to you. It has to. It is law, because energy circulates. So I look forward to hearing your definition of opulence. I look forward to learning so much more about each and every one of you. We are on this journey together. I will be doing the work. Joe, Natalia, Angie, we're all doing the work with you. Okay, we are creating and recreating and creating something bigger, and we want you to create also. Use the next 24 hours. Use the next 24. I just saw Angie's comment. Use the next 24 hours to really hone in into your life. Okay, what would I really want? If I could define opulence for me, what would that be? How would I feel if I were completely opulent, and why? So if I had a beautiful relationship with my children and I felt healthy and fit and my business was working really well and I was earning my $10,000 a month, $100,000 a month, whatever it is, okay, how would that be for you? Because one thing is, you, my friend, you, Adrian, you, Joe, you, Birgit, beautiful Birgit, what a beautiful energy she has, Lynette, Angie, you are the highest form of creation. And in order for anything to manifest, it must flow through you first. Your mind is the center of divine operation. We can go deeper into that tomorrow or the next day. But understand what that means is manifestation doesn't happen out there. It's not separate from you. It must come from within you first. So do this little bit of work, and I look forward to seeing you all same time, same place tomorrow. Angie wants to see my definition of what opulence means to me. I promise you I will share that, but I really want to hear from you. Thank you so, so much. It has been my absolute pleasure being with you all today, and I look forward to seeing what opens up for you all in the next 7 days. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.